All right. We got us another mess on our hands here, guys. I'm gonna clean up this countertop a little bit. I'm gonna paint these cabinets. So we're gonna spend the day doing this. So come along for the fun. Here we go. Looks like the seal along the vanity's in a little better shape than that other bathroom was. So I think we're gonna save that. We're just gonna try to clean up these edges here. And this doesn't have shelf paper on it. So we're just gonna get all the flaws and the bad spots out. And then we're just gonna clean up around the sink here. As you can see, there's some caulking in there that's pretty rotten. And then we'll paint the countertop, and then we'll caulk the sink after the countertop dries. Doesn't look like the cabinets need a whole lot. There's a little stuff stuck to them and stuff, so I'm just gonna scrape them and paint them up. Alright, we got the fan going. Scrape this edge. Working on getting these doors adjusted. A little sanding, caulk the holes where the hinges were. So they put the wrong kind of hinges on here. So there's a gap big enough to put my pinky in. I should have brought the hinges out here and attached them. That's about all we can do. No, do what they want. This is what happens. There you go. It's that damn easy. Just install it properly. Drop it just a hair. Check your gap. 3.7 minutes. Giving a shit. Go. We got us some magnets. We can probably put a couple magnets on that that'll hold it shut, but I'm gonna wait for that until I get it painted. Off. Clean this up. A blob of paint there. Some of the bumps off of here. It's kind of a nightmare. That's the way it goes. There's a bump. No shits were given. Up a little bit, the paint sticks better. Now, the one thing about lacquer is it will stick to Formica a lot better than latex. Pardon the fan, it's hot. It's about 92 out, probably about 95 in here. So we're putting lipstick on a pig here, folks. Make it look decent and livable. There we go. Someone didn't. Don't give a shit moment. We're working through the abortion here, guys. Put lipstick on a pig. Let's see what we got to deal with up here. Some kind of writing. Can you read that? What does this say? Probably says, "Help me, help me." Can't see it, but there's all kinds of crap around the edge of this sink. Well, so this has been painted. Look at that. Cursed. That's why we're here. We're doing an exorcism on this place. Out with the demons. Try to fill that gap with paint. Start caulking. Start along there and get as much of it as we can. A lot of crap. The paint they used adhered pretty good. Formica, so it's definitely going to be a ledge where the paint is, and if I paint that, it's going to look like shit. So I'm just going to have to take it all off. Pressure on it. It's off now. This is worse than the shelf paper. Fun. What a mess. That getting in the sink. Just remember, anytime you guys are working on a house with a septic tank, try not to leave anything in the sinks. Septic tanks are sensitive, and if you start dropping a bunch of weird debris in the sinks, it can clog them up or mess with the chemistry that's going on in there. What a mess. Alright, that's all filled in, so once that dries, once all this dries by tomorrow, we can put a piece of trim over that, and any water that goes back into these corners isn't going to go behind that and down into the cabinet, you know, when you're splashing and washing your hands. Just a little bit, just to get a first coat on it. It wouldn't be this place if it didn't have a random screw just sticking in the wall. That was their idea of backing one screw in that. Yeah, guys, come on. That must have been quite a party that was going on. Why would you put a screw for your backing here where everyone can see it? Why not put it here and here? Oh my God. I guess I'll never learn. Just a novice. I've had the subtle differences in crackhead construction techniques. Let's just get a coat on this shit. Get a start on it. Paint. This is primer. So most of this stuff is already painted. I'm just gonna go ahead and get a coat on this because it's a different color. Just hit it with a coat. What's that look like? That's the lip where they didn't paint the bottom, so it just swelled up with moisture over the years and created this big lip. I'm not going to make it go away 100%, but we can knock it down considerably. The other one. Wow. Now we'll go ahead and paint that, and then we'll come back tomorrow and sand it. It's not going to sand now because it's made out of particle board. Just put a coat of paint on that. Make sure you paint the bottom. That's how this happened already the last time. It's not going to be pretty. This is primer. These knobs are loose. Loose as a goose. So let's take them off. Like I said, this is primer. So it ain't going to look pretty. It's just going to seal the particle board that's here. That's what you got to do when you have particle board is you got to paint all your edges and the inside too. Otherwise that moisture gets in there and just dissolves it. Paint the edge. You can see how it drinks that paint up. So imagine how it drinks up moisture in the air when you're showering in here for 3-4 years straight. Take that primer, run it along there a couple times. Stupid, both. Like this. Paint it. Gotta get something in there to seal that and keep that moisture out. Get the bottom. On the bottom too. And this is primer, so this is gonna really get in there. Regular paint doesn't get into the wood like primer does. This is good. This is a good thing. I made a particle board. I just get it all over the hinge, nobody cares. Right? Isn't that how it works? a good angle, you can see the sink here where the old caulk was, and to scrape it down to that lip where it goes back under, and now we can just refill that after we paint it. There's a little bit of caulk in there, but you can see there's some gaps, so I'm sure water got in there over the years, but it's the way it goes. Got this all painted up. Wasn't that hard. All right. Came in here. Scrape down that countertop. Whew. Man, was that a nightmare. I don't know what kind of paint they used on it. Seemed like some sort of oil base. Whew. It was a hot and sticky one, but got all these walls primed around it. Got a primer coat on the cabinet or two. Scraped around the edge here too, so we're going to use that lacquer to paint this countertop like we did in the other one. Cleaned up the sink. It had a bunch of different colors of paint all around it. Scraped the caulk out from underneath it. Went around and put a nice big thick bead of caulk on that backsplash so water can't splash and go behind the vanity.